The secret formula for doubling your gym's revenue in just 6 months. Well, that sounds a little bit clickbaity, doesn't it? You gotta love a ChatGPT title. But let's play this out. The revenue that does or doesn't exist into your business currently right now can easily be doubled with some tactics here or there. One of the biggest tactics right now in the fitness industry is this weird infatuation with a strong front end offer. Now, depending on how long you've been a gym owner and depending on how long you've been doing this thing, you'll recognize that different front end offers have come and gone in our little small sector of the fitness industry. And I mean that by saying small sector. In the UK, there's like 2,200 independent gyms, little micro gyms, of which a lot of them are falling by the wayside. Loads of people are unable to sustain their business because their model was wrong. But of this small fraction of gyms, a lot of influence has been taken by your big commercial gyms running 14-day trials, 7-day trials, free trial this, free trial that. Anyway, for the longest time, that was the tactic, and it's now been very, very evident of how stupid that is. If you're running paid marketing to a free trial, you're burning cash. You're burning so much cash. From the time you run the marketing to the sales call to the 14-day trial for them to ghost you, all that time, money, resource is just going and just getting sunk. So then there was this thing where it was like a 30-day trial where you'd pay 50% of what the actual membership is. But what you were hoping to do is once they try, then you're never going to leave. And many gym owners will say that, especially the gym owners with really poor marketing. They'll say, oh, if only I could get clients to try, then they'll see how great I am. All right. But guess what? That narrative is keeping you broke as well. So then, therefore, what is the mindset shift here? It's quite easy. The mindset shift is like this other front end offer is something that's way higher than your ongoing fee. So it's a high upsell in the front end, and then they drop down to the downsell, and that's kind of where they stay, right? That's your retention model. Now, this front end offer, many gyms are charging $247 for 6 weeks, $347 for 6 weeks, $397, $427, $497. It just depends where you want to go, right? And it just depends what some kind of mentor tells you. But the reality is like it just needs to be higher than what your fee is afterwards, and ideally higher than the fee you want them to be on. So like if it's like a 2-session a week, 3-session a week, 4-session a week membership, you want it to be equal to or higher than your okay? Now, if you go from selling free trials to, let's say, or 30-day trials that are cheap, 50% off, to now charging equal to or more, let's say 30% more than your ongoing fee, all of a sudden everything changes. For example, we've worked with some gyms who've added 15 to 20,000 pounds in front-end revenue sales in 1 month because they didn't have a strong offer, and now they do. They never offered a high ticket, so to speak. I hate that word because it's not, but a high ticket 6-week front-end offer. Now they do. And they weren't able to really captivate that sale and start hitting some scores in the doors. When you gave these gyms, the license to do so and the tools to do so, everything does change. But be very careful. The front-end offer rev that you might bring in, which might be 50, 60, 70% of revenue more than what you're currently generating, is a drug. And it's a drug that is very, very easily addicted to. It's quite addictive, and it's not real money, right? Now, yes, there's money in your bank, etc. But don't treat it as money on how well your gym is doing, because all that matters is that money that comes in, you reinvest back into marketing so we can have a continual kind of stream of front-end offers, potentially, coming in week on week, month on month, and we can start to grow. Now, if you do that and you switch on a strong FEO, and now you get to a place where you're generating great quality buyers, they're coming in for, let's say, a 6-week challenge or whatever it is, and now you have an opportunity to convert them. This is where the rubber meets the road. Did you overpromise and underdeliver, or did you execute on your promise and wow them? Do they see their future in your gym with you and your team? Because if they do and you convert them to a full paying member for a minimum of, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever your T's and C's are, all of a sudden everything changes. Now, with our data, here's some good markers to get to. If you're converting at 50% of trial to member, you've got a problem. If you're converting at 60% trial to member, you're not as good as you said you are. If you're at 65%, I'd say we're pretty much there where we need to be. Anywhere between 65 and 85% is good. That's really good. That's strong. If you start consistently hitting above 85%, you're just too cheap. So use those targets, so to speak, as a little guide as to where to or not to charge. But fundamentally, in order to double your rev, that's easy. In order to really solidify a strong, predictable, sustainable business, you obviously need to charge appropriately. But it's all about acquiring clients on a trial and converting them to member and continuously giving them a side of future in your business. Because if we can do that, I tell you now, business starts to feel a whole lot better.